Bleach Movie 1, Memories of Nobody, is a movie that you can watch immediately after the Soul Society arc of the Bleach manga and right after the Bound arc in the Bleach anime, being the first exposure to Rukia Kuchike's Sanpakuto. It is the only Bleach movie that can fit to the main continuity without much trouble. The story is about the worlds about to be destroyed by the enemies called the Dark Ones. Some of the blandest antagonists you will see in Bleach and can be a total turn-off for people who are interested in well-written antagonists with a deep backstory. However, they have justification for what they do, even if not the smallest effort was put into them for us to care about them. On the contrary, we have Senna, and the story is focusing on who she really is, as she has Shinigami powers and are named Sanpakuto. That is the only remotely interesting part of the movie, and there's no surprise that none of the Dark Ones made it into video games, but Senna did. Ichigo Kurosaki in this movie takes the role as her guard, protecting her from the Dark Ones and Soul Society, because that's Ichigo for you. In the movies, he's always a character who does and says the right thing, while the other characters are just following orders or have their own selfish desires. Senna is a playful, self-centered girl, but cares about finding the truth about herself, not because she has amnesia, thank God. The movie takes a lot of time exploring her personality, her desires and fears. The more you will feel that she needs to be protected. As for other characters, Urahara does the usual helping out. The other main cast members are shafted as usual, with Oihimo only healing once after battle. Like most Bleach movies, it is focused on the Shinigamis doing the fighting. And let me tell you, there are a bunch of Shinigami eating the screen time and runtime of this movie, releasing their Sanpakuto and using Bankai. Speaking of fights, they were rather mediocre. Soifon got the best treatment in this movie compared to all other Bleach movies by not being treated like an amateur. Some enemies use the energy sources they intend to destroy the worlds in a clever way. For example, the guy who fights Toshiro Hitsugaya. But that is as far as the compliment goes, simply because, like in all Bleach movies, the captains just slaughter their opposition with no effort. Some of the enemies' weapons are also uber lame and aren't used in an interesting way to make up for the lack of interesting powers. Overall, this movie is the weakest Bleach movie. Senna is the only thing that is interesting because the antagonists don't feel as dangerous as they should, since high-tier Shinigamis are around. If you want to see where the truth about Senna lies, you may enjoy this story and the ending will hit you hard emotionally. If you are looking for an action-packed Bleach movie with interesting antagonists and killer visuals, you might want to skip that. Especially if you aren't a fan of Bleach filler, since this movie feels like an extended filler episode.